awaiting delivery, when all of a sudden the man who designed it decided, no, it shouldn't be there because of scenes like this, which were so clearly the same as, take a look, scenes like this. So the president of Matthews Bronze, David DiCarlo, drove this statue to the city of New York himself, and indeed it took the state of Missouri 1 hour to decide that they were going to make it a gift to New York City's wonderful firefighters. And I'm joined now by some of them this morning, and I thank you all for coming out because this has become a kind of informal memorial here in New York. I've got Mike Gatula with me, and Mike, I know you made a promise that you've been keeping. What was that?
To stay here and be with the families and the guys until all our guys come home, and then I'll go home. So
you've been staying at the firehouse?
Yes, I've been staying at the firehouse, been in contact with all the families. We have 11 just from our firehouse and 31 in this whole battalion, which is right here in this area. And we kind of help each other. We stay together, and sometimes we hug, sometimes we cry, sometimes we laugh and tell stories, but we're going to stay together until they're home with us.
I've got Terry Holden here, too, a veteran of 37 years with the New York firefighters. We heard a story, we heard the report that firefighters had asked that all the people of the city of New York show up for the wakes and funerals of firefighters because there were simply too many of them for all of you to attend. Is that what your days have become?
Oh, yes, we normally have somewhere around 8,000 to 10,000 people attending a fire department funeral. So now that there's so many funerals and wakes to attend, we're spread very thin. So it would be great if the public could show up to support the families. I mean, we're focusing in on the families now, and we're most concerned about them. They come to the firehouse, we give them our support, and we support each other. So it's a real fine system that works in a tragedy like this, and I'm really grateful to everyone that they're supporting us. They show up, and it's going on day in, day out. For weeks now, for the last 2 weeks, the support outside the firehouse has been exceptional. It's really.
That's so good to hear. And again, so glad some of our local team came out to be with us. And we'll take a look at the statue again, Charlie, as we head back to you. And again, urge everybody in the city of New York, read the listings, look for the funerals, attend, because the prayers of strangers can help too. Charlie?
All right, thanks, Diane. We want to bring everybody up on the West Coast and the latest news this morning, and we start with the president. He was in the Rose Garden talking about financial moves against the terrorists. He was there about 6:30 Western time, and let's go to our correspondent at the White House, Terry Moran. Terry?
Well, Charlie, the president says that a major thrust in the war on terrorism has begun with a stroke of a pen. What has happened is that he has signed a sweeping executive order which freezes the assets of a variety of named individuals and organizations in this country, but more importantly, Charlie, puts banks around the world on notice that if they deal with these individuals and organizations, they too will not be able to do business in the United States. That would be a critical blow to any financial interest in the world. Here's how the president laid down the law.
Money is the lifeblood of terrorist operations. Today we're asking the world to stop payment. Now the Secretary.
And the key question here, Charlie, is how will the United States prove to individuals and organizations in this country and around the world, and banks and governments around the world, that we have the goods, as it were, on these terrorist organizations and individuals. It's classified information. The president said he's not about to share it. Now for more on the military buildup, John McWethy at the Pentagon.
Thanks, Terry. Much of the U.S. military buildup is not visible. The part that the public is able to see is 15 to 20 U.S. heavy bombers heading for the region over the weekend. Much that is not visible involves diplomacy at this point. There is an intense effort from U.S. diplomats and people here in the Pentagon to convince countries along the northern border with Afghanistan to open up their airfields and some of their facilities to American special operations troops so they can go into Afghanistan. There is also also an intense effort for the U.S. trying to get better acquainted with the various rebel groups that have been fighting the ruling Taliban in Afghanistan for the last 5 years. The U.S. believes that they could provide essential on-the-ground information in trying to track down Osama bin Laden. Now, for more of what is happening in Pakistan, we turn to my colleague Bob Woodruff, who is in Islamabad.
Thanks, John. An interesting development here. Al Jazeera Television, which is an Arab-language 24-hour news channel based in the country of Qatar and the Persian Gulf with extensive contacts with Osama bin Laden, they say, have received a fax copy, a message from Osama bin Laden himself, in which he is asking the people of Pakistan to rise up against the Americans. Here's a quote directly from that message. He says, "We incite our Muslim brothers in Pakistan to deter with all their capabilities the American crusaders from invading Pakistan and Afghanistan." If that is in fact a true message from Osama bin Laden, and we have no way of knowing for sure that it is, it contradicts in every way what the Taliban has been saying for months, which is that Osama bin Laden has no way to communicate from Afghanistan. He has no phone, no fax, no computer, and no means of communicating with the outside world. On the other hand, though, the Taliban said once again today that they've lost contact with Osama bin Laden, that he is missing, and that they believe that he is in Afghanistan, but they do not know where. Again, though, a message apparently received from Osama bin Laden asking everyone in Pakistan to rise up against the Americans. Charlie?
All right, thanks very much. Bob Woodruff, who is reporting from Islamabad in Pakistan, and as we say, that is our listening post for what's going on inside Afghanistan. Now, again, we are on the air live for the West Coast because we want to update you on the markets, and the news from the stock markets has been very good this morning. There were indications from the European markets, from the overnight buys, that things would be up when the opening bell rang, and indeed the Dow Jones in the first, what is it now, hour and a half of trading, the Dow Jones is up 300 points. The NASDAQ is up 66. So things looking good on the markets, at least so far. So let's go back to Diane.
Again, we're here at the memorial, the informal memorial at 44th and 8th Street, Charlie, because with more than 300 firefighters missing, we like to pause periodically still and tell you just a few stories. It's sort of our way of laying a wreath for some of them. This morning, 14-year veteran Daniel Sir, and recently we sat down and heard what his wife Nancy had to say.
My name is Nancy Sir. My husband was Daniel Sir. Gosh, he was very, he loved life. He lived life really large. We met when we were in grammar school. I was in the 7th grade and he was in the 8th grade. He was my first boyfriend, my first kiss, my first everything. It was a wonderful, wonderful life. It was a fairy tale. You know, my mom used to say to me, you know, Nancy, please, you have to, you know, try other men. You have to do other things. And I'm like, but why? You know, he treats me like a princess, like a goddess. You know, he thought I was the most wonderful thing in the whole world. So how, you know, why would I need to go anywhere else? His close friends, we'd call him Captain America. They joked, he had his cape everywhere he went. Did you bring your cape tonight, your Captain America cape? Because if they would go out, he was the guy that would protect them. You know, you guys, there's an exit over there, there's an exit over there. Wherever we went, he showed me the exits. If God should forbid it, wherever we were, you knew where the exit was. Oh gosh, the morning of the 11th, I could see the towers on fire, you know, so I drove home right away, and there was a message from my husband on the machine.
Tuesday, 9:06 a.m.
Yeah, baby, it's me. Just call, tell you I love you. Give me a call on the cell when you get a chance. Everything's fine. Talk to you later. Bye.
He was hit by somebody who either fell or jumped from the building and landed on my husband and I guess crushed him. And by that, you know, firemen have a motto, they never leave anybody behind. And all the guys in his unit stayed with him and made sure he got into that ambulance as fast as possible. So in essence, he saved everybody in his unit and whoever else helped out at the time, because they were all going into that building and that building was going to collapse. I needed to see my husband because I needed to know that he was never coming back. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't something that I would ever thought I'd have to see. But I needed to see him, and I needed to touch him and kiss him and tell him that I loved him and that I will always love him and that he will always, always have my heart.
The firefighters here, Charlie, said that they wanted to make sure that they thank the brotherhoods, the ironworkers, the carpenters who have come in to help out their families. And on this statue, it says, "Whenever flames may race, give me the strength to save some life." And they want to make sure that people are not just contributing to them, but to the people they were trying to save. The custodians, the waitresses, their families need help too. Now we go to Tony Perkins and the weather.
All right, Diane, thank you very much. We want to turn our attention to the Pacific Ocean, a major hurricane. This is a Category 4 hurricane, Juliet, with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles an hour. There was some thinking that it might intensify. Now we're not so sure. It's moving to the west-northwest. It's taken a turn to the west-northwest, moving away from land, but still a concern for the southwest coast of Mexico and for southern Baja California. We'll have to watch that, too. Take a quick look at the highs around the nation. We'll show you. We're going to see some cool temperatures in the upper Midwest and around the Great Lakes, warm in the west. That is a look at what's happening with the weather around the nation. Now, here's what's happening in your neighborhood.
On this second full day of fall, it will feel a bit more like fall than it did over the weekend. Still warmer than average, though. Your forecast for Portland, Vancouver, partly sunny with a high of 77, light winds throughout the day. East of the Cascades, you could see a thunderstorm developing later on in the evening. Cloudy skies along the coast today with highs in the 60s. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 57, and then some rain coming in through next weekend. Back to GMA.
Thank you very much, and that's the latest on the weather. Charlie, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Tony. When we come back, what are the college students saying? How are they reacting to this? They've never seen their nation in trouble. We'll be right back.
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind, yeah!
When I'm away, my mother's in charge.
Look at Grandma!
I know my kids will eat their vegetables.
Who wants more chocolate?
After dinner, she'll make them rinse the really dirty dishes.
Bingo!
They'll put everything in the right place because Mom loves everything shiny.
Cascade works two ways. First, it removes tough stuff. Then, its Pure Rinse formula leaves a better shine than the leading competitor.
Like mother, like daughter.
Grandma, let's go!
Also in powder and gel.
At Kmart, our blue lights lower prices every day.
Save a lot of dough at Kmart. Get down the line. Always get down the line. Oh.
Get down to Kmart for low prices. That's Blue Light always.
Mom, I'm home. I'm on the computer, downloading some chicken recipes.
Oh, really?
With Stouffer Skillet Sensations, the only ingredient you need is a skillet. Complete meals including meat.
I can almost smell it. Mom, I'm so impressed.
Stouffer Skillet Sensations.
Look in my eyes. Tell me what you see.
He has a power.
To know certain things, see certain things.
A power to see the past.
You couldn't know?
To predict the future.
Believe me, I know.
And to pass his gift to another.
All you gotta do is find the Queen of Hearts.
Tell me what you see.
This one here. Anthony Hopkins. Hearts in Atlantis. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
It's astonishing. It's breathtaking. It's the revolutionary GE Profile Arctica. The first refrigerator that can thaw a filet in half the time. It can even chill wine in minutes. Help keep lettuce naturally crisp. And make extra ice extra fast. All while using up to 40% less energy, which makes your kitchen the one place it really belongs. The amazing GE Profile Arctica. The refrigerator. Rethought. Reinvented. Revolutionized.
It responds to the power of your voice.
It lets you focus on what lies ahead.
OnStar Personal Calling.
Call Commissioner Gordon. With hands-free dialing, you can concentrate on more important things, like driving.
Gordon here.
I'm on my way. Voice-activated calling from OnStar.
For college students, war is something they read about in textbooks or see in the movies. I mean, even the Gulf War is a distant childhood memory. If you think about it, entering freshmen in college right now, they were 8 years old when the Gulf War happened. But now, these students are coping with the worst national tragedy in their lifetime. Hope it will be the worst national tragedy they ever see. And the threat of a very real war, of course, is upon them. Now, the host of the popular call-in show Loveline has been talking to college kids about what they're going through. Take a look.
Dr. Drew Pinsky of Loveline fame.
He wanted to talk about the events of September 11.
This is the first time I've been out since the World Trade Center disaster.
They avoided it, talking about the things Dr. Drew normally talks about, like sex and drugs. They sounded like typical college kids, funny and a little obnoxious.
I said that like I'm bigger than the average male,
And so he asked them again and again what they felt about the World Trade Center and Pentagon attacks.
Really, it's important to me that I hear a little bit from you today about this issue.
And finally, one young woman opened up.
I'm struggling right now between feeling really isolated from what's going on, and as soon as I do, turn on NPR to see what's happening, I feel so powerless that I just want to escape from it.
That's the thing I feel.
And she opened the floodgates.
I don't know how everybody else feels, but I feel really guilty that until I found out that it hit closer to home than I thought it did, I was pretty much ambivalent to it. And it scares me.
Are you afraid you're going to go back to your previous complacency?
Yes.
First of all, thank you for letting me talk about this. I've been kind of waiting for an opportunity like this. And what I'd like to say is one of the things I'm most afraid of is the racism that seems to have reared its head.
I just want to know at what point you think that it's all right for us to begin returning to a certain sense of normalcy. Because I feel like that there's so much negativity going on that's obvious, but the fact is that everyone feels horrible. We all feel awful.
I just learned that my brother and his fiance are both on call to go over if anything happens. And I just don't understand how I'm supposed to deal with that and deal with this and stay focused. I don't know how to deal with this.
And Dr. Drew Pinsky is here with us now. It's interesting to me, there's a sort of a contrast here. The kids you had to really push to talk about it.
Right.
With adults, you can't get them to talk about anything else.
Well, I think adults, though, need to be aware that they need to talk about it. Maybe New Yorkers have become galvanized. I think Mary Juliana was very important in terms of urging people to get out, live their lives, talk about these things. But throughout the country, people are sort of walling off from these feelings. And as usual, college kids become sort of a barometer of what's going on in the rest of the country. People have these overwhelming feelings of stress. They feel numb. They feel powerless. They feel this tremendous remorse and mourning about having lost a sense of the world that they thought they lived in and trying to cope with the new world. And college kids, really, they exemplified all this. They were feeling powerless. They were feeling guilty. In fact, for me,
why guilt?
That was the extraordinary thing for me, the amount of guilt that was expressed. You only saw one little piece of it there, but there was a ton of guilt. And it's really a survivor's guilt. It's a survivor's guilt. It's its own sort of form of it. But it's that powerlessness mixed with guilt. And the guilt is, this horrible thing happened. I'm okay. I feel guilty for that. I want to do something. They very much want to do something. There's sort of a volunteerism spirit to what they're feeling.
Well, in terms of doing something, it may be the young men of this country who are going to have to carry out what may be a very protracted and long campaign against terrorists. So, are they worried about the possibility they'll be in the military? Are they worried about a draft? Does that word come up?
That word has not come up. And interestingly, that kind of thinking has not sort of entered into the equation yet. At this point, they're just trying to deal with the feelings of the acute stress and the loss of the world they thought they lived in. I'm sure as they get through that, they're going to start thinking about you. What is my obligation? This, after all, is their legacy. This is the next great generation, maybe. This is going to be their legacy.
Do any of the young men and women say, sign me up?
Well, not in college campuses so much, but there is my understanding is there's a tremendous influx of people signing up.
Now, that was Carleton College in Minnesota that we saw. You've been to other campuses as well? Same reactions?
Similar reactions, and you know, you heard one young man speaking about this as a desire to get away from these feelings too. There's a desire to, please take me away, entertain me. I'm overwhelmed by all this. I need to get back to my life. I want my old life back.
You talked about the importance of talking. And a number of people have made that point. Tipper Gore was here last week saying you have to talk about this.
You get post-traumatic stress disorder if you don't talk. Yeah.
You had trouble getting them to the subject. They're not with their parents when they're in college. They're with other students.
Yep.
Do they say they're talking about it, working through these feelings with each other?
They are, but probably not at the level that they should be. They really need to make a point of talking about this stuff. It's much more easy for them to get back into the world of distraction, which is what our culture offers them. I mean, that's one of the weaknesses of our culture for young people is arousal is the way they're taught to manage their feelings. It's MTV, and it's, the drugs, and it's fast car, and it's all these arousing kinds of experiences. They're going towards that. They need to be encouraged to go to talk to one another.
All right, Drew Pinsky, good to have you here.
You.
Good to have you out and about on the campuses of the country. Thanks very much. We'll be back.
When I retired from the police force after 17 years, I bought this newsstand. As I'm setting up shop, Ed shows up. He's with Philip Morris, USA. He tells me about the WeCard program. Ed gave me training materials to teach my clerks how to spot fake IDs. So now, when a kid comes in and tries to buy some smokes...
Can I hear baggy cigarettes, too?
He's not getting past me, or anyone who works for me.
Sorry, I can't say the cigarettes, bro. What?
So thanks, Ed. Even an old cop can use some backup.
Working to make a difference. The people of Philip Morris.
All done.
Yay! So what should we do for dinner?
Do you know what I've been dreaming about?
No.
An incredible beef stew with carrots, potatoes, tender beef slowly simmered for hours to bring out all the flavor.
No problem.
There's something new from Stouffer's. Slow Fire Classics. Slow simmered recipes so hearty they can only be served in a bowl.
Is this what you were dreaming about?
You're good. You're good.
New Slow Fire Classics from Stouffer's.
Ask your doctor about Nasonex with moisturizing glycerin. Taken once a day for nasal allergies due to pollens, molds, dust, and yes, even pets. Side effects were generally mild, included headache, viral infection, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing. Nasonex. Fewer sneezes, fewer worries.
Let's talk germs, okay? This is new Dial Complete. It's no ordinary soap. It's antibacterial foaming hand wash. Dial Complete is 10 times more effective at killing germs than ordinary liquid soaps. Rinse is cleaner and it's milder. Huh? You got kids, pets, boyfriends? Then let's review. More germ-killing power, plus rinse is cleaner, plus milder, equals a complete clean of Dial Complete. Can your soap do that?
Aren't you glad you used Dial?
Too many high-interest monthly payments? Why not pay them off with a second mortgage with a no closing cost option from Ditech.com? Apply online now or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED. And there is no equity required. Ditech Second Mortgage with a no closing cost option can help you to consolidate your high-interest debts into one low monthly payment. It's smart money from Ditech.com. Apply online now or call us at 1-800-71-FIXED.
You are no longer soldiers. Each one of you is nothing more than the shadow of a soldier.
They are prisoners.
There have been murders.
With one last chance.
The eagle he wears on his shoulder may make him an officer, but it doesn't give him the authority to take away who we are.
To become heroes again.
We are soldiers.
Robert Redford, James Gandolfini, Mark Ruffalo, and Delroy Lindo. The Last Castle. Rated R. Coming soon.
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind, yeah!
Now, K2 News, brought to you by Crystal Springs Water Company.
Good morning, I'm Natalie Marmy, and the call to military duty led to a last-minute wedding in Beaverton this weekend, but instead of the traditional man in uniform, this time it's the bride who will be leaving to serve her country. The first kiss between husband and wife is always magical, but for newlyweds John and Corey Sandquist, their nuptials are bittersweet. The new Mrs. Sandquist is an air traffic controller in the National Guard. She'd already planned on getting married, but the call to duty sped up those plans.
If they give you any words of wisdom about long-distance relationship or anything?
No. No, it's come so fast. So just take each day as it comes.
The bride will also be leaving behind her 3-year-old daughter, Brianna. It's something she says she tries not to think about as she poses for wedding day photographs, but she does plan to use the memories of her wedding day to get her through the tough times to come. Volunteers from the Northwest are still working near Ground Zero. A group from Northwest medical teams arrived in New York on Tuesday. During the week, the team shared stories and well wishes from Oregonians with rescue crews and people who live in Manhattan. They're also helping rescuers and victims deal with post-traumatic stress from the attacks. A team of 6 from Seattle left last night to help the other workers. Northwest medical team volunteers will likely be there for weeks and maybe months. Here in the Northwest, flags are returning to full staff in downtown Portland. The Benson Hotel raised the stars and stripes back to its normal position. Temple Beth Israel also raised its flag in Northwest Portland. And at the Bonneville Power Administration in Northeast Portland, Old Glory is back to full staff after a national period of mourning. Time now to find out what's happening in the weather department. Big changes. Joe English is in for Rhonda Shelby to break the news. Fall making a comeback.
Yeah, fall is here. It started officially Saturday afternoon about 4 o'clock, and it will feel like it more today. Still warmer than average. Your forecast for Portland and Vancouver, well, we're looking at partly sunny skies, and we're seeing some clear skies in the gorge right now. This shot courtesy of the Hood River Inn in the Columbia River Gorge. And you will get some clouds early on over Portland and Vancouver, and then the sun breaking through if it's not already. A high of 77, that's about 5 degrees above average. Overnight tonight, increasing clouds, and into Tuesday, we're talking about a chance of some showers, maybe a little heavier rainfall on Wednesday, and then showers continuing through the rest of the week into next weekend, maybe even into Monday. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s, so after a summer-like weekend, we are seeing some fall weather on the way, and it's starting today, gradually getting into it for Tuesday and Wednesday.
A 10-day trend unlike those we've seen in a long while,
Yeah.
Joe. Thank you very much. Another update in a half hour. Join us for midday on 2 this morning at 11 o'clock. Have a great Monday.
With over 300 different kinds of fresh fruits and vegetables, and dozens of delicious ways to choose them, you can find everything you always wanted, and things you never even knew you wanted. Don't you wish all life was that simple? Looking for something fresh? Albertsons. It's your store.
Thanks for watching K2, the breaking news station. If you're in one of these locations, you may be able to receive a clearer signal by tuning to one of these UHF channels.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Girls are gonna be here in 10 minutes.
Cert's Powerful Mints. A little drop of Redson for a big hit of confidence. Hi. Be certain with Cert's.
I'm Paul Lindman. This national tragedy has renewed a spirit of patriotism across our country, and many people are showing this renewed spirit by displaying the American flag. At K2, we'd like to make it easy for you to do the same. Log on to K2.com to print out this Proud to be an American sign. There's also a downloadable version for your desktop, and for your kids, a Proud to be an American Kid coloring page. Show your American pride. Get these free resources now from KATU.com.
Good morning, America. Welcome back.
That's Sawyer over there. I'm Gibson here, and do we have a third host here? Who's joined us?
Joined by Miss America 2002. I don't know about you all. I watched every single minute. There I was with my little eyes propped open as Katie Harmon from Oregon became Miss America. And we congratulate you this morning.
Thank you so much.
So, I was asking you about this new decision they have made to have those who don't make the finals also cast a vote. They're the 8th judge, in
Absolutely.
effect, but they never tell you how the girls themselves voted.
We have no idea. I probably will never know, actually. They'll never tell me.
I was fascinated. It's part of getting back to normalcy, and I think it was a very good idea to have the pageant this weekend, but I know there was discussion. Should we cancel it? Should we not? And did they consult the contestants?
Oh, absolutely. We actually had a vote. There was a 2-to-1 vote in favor of going ahead with the pageant.
And you voted?
I voted for going ahead with the pageant, absolutely.
Because?
We needed a sense of normalcy in the United States, especially for us. We were in Atlantic City when everything happened, and we wanted to go forward. We knew that this was something that was so important to us. And so we kind of had to reevaluate the role of Miss America. We sat down, we talked about that and said, we need to do this. This is important.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, you were talking about reevaluating the role. I was saying to you earlier, who are we kidding? Lifestyles and fitness competition.
They're renaming.
It's a bathing suit competition. Lifestyles and fitness, they call it. Nobody is fooled.
We actually, though, the fitness part of it is so true, and it really is about lifestyle. I had to change my lifestyle in accordance with what I had to do. I did tons of weight training. I had a trainer, a personal trainer, and he constructed a diet for me, and I live by that now, and I feel better about myself now that I've done that.
And
so
you can bench
it
press?
really is. Absolutely. I don't know how much, but definitely I can try.
I'm thinking of Charlie Gibson saying, I think I'll stick around for the lifestyles and fitness competition.
Oh.
You know, fitness is really so important.
What has happened in the last couple of weeks, though, will inevitably change your year. This will be a different year than a normal, such a thing, normal Miss America would have. So how do you think it's going to change it? What do you think you'll be doing differently, given what happened in the last 2 weeks?
Well, as Miss America, I have a platform issue that I take nationally. That's the traditional role. I now have a second platform issue with everything that has happened. In addition to my first platform issue, which is providing support for terminal breast cancer patients, I am now hoping to provide healing for those who are going through this tragedy. So Miss America is, in essence, she's assuming that role of an encourager and someone who brings hope to the American people, rallying the support and the hope of the American people.
And last night there were encouragements for people to contribute to the September 11th fund, or not last night, but on the pageant night.
Yeah. Congratulations to you. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, all the best. Have a
You sang
great.
so beautifully. As I said, it was really wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What a voice. Yeah. Have a great year.
Thank you.
Yeah. And nice to have you started here. Anyway, we're going to have a good half hour for you. We'll tell you what's coming up a little bit later, but let's get to the weather and Tony Perkins.
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. Talking a lot about patriotism these days. And
what a guy I had. I gotta tell you, I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I feel pretty good. Just before the show backstage, and I normally don't do this, I had a little white wine, you know, to wash down the Viagra. And I am. Everything's fine. Can you tell that it's autumn in New York? Can you feel it? Yeah, it's great. I was coming through Central Park today, and I saw one of those only in New York autumn scenes. It was a squirrel, a little squirrel, like gray squirrel, putting his nuts in Tupperware. You don't. That's only. Everybody in New York City is very, very patriotic. I go into Rupert G's Hello Deli right out there on 53rd Street, and I had the soup, the special. Yeah, sure. And I get it back up to my office, and this was so cute. The cockroaches in the soup had spelled out USA. I thought, you can't do better than that. New York City is bouncing back, and we have been helped out from all over the country by thousands and thousands of volunteer hookers. So that's an important thing. And how many of you saw the Miss America pageant Saturday night? How many of you? One sour note, Miss New York received a lifetime ban for betting on the pageant. But other than that, yeah, I was... Well, now you know how I felt when I At the beginning of the pageant, all 50 of the young ladies came out dressed as something from their home state, you know, something indigenous to their home state. And Miss Florida came out, it was great, dressed as a crooked voting machine. I like that. I thought that was pretty good. I said, well, now we're on to something. There he is, my good friend, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Schaefer. Schaefer, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Paul. Let me tell you who's on the program tonight. Speaking of Miss America, her own self, Katie Harmon, is here from Oregon.
Oh, boy.
Miss Oregon. Singer Pete Yorn.
Yeah,
Pete Yorn. And Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. That's
Yes, indeed.
Over the weekend, I got the strangest call. I have a friend of mine who works on the school board. His name is Kenny. You've met Kenny.
Oh, Kenny, who works on the school board.
That's right. He was at your wedding, I believe.
He was, yeah.
And
he changed jobs recently, I guess.
No, he's always been at the school board. Yeah.
Because there's that other Kenny who works for the weather department. I guess that's a different guy.
Different Kenny.
Yeah, I see.
And he said, Dave, you know, it's back to school time. How many of you are on your way back to school right now? The orange section. The orange section is on their way back to school. Well, don't neglect your studies, boys. And he said, you would not believe, you know, every year when it's back to school time, you see the big back to school sales. And you think, well, other than like pencils, really, what could be? And he said, you would not believe there is so much stuff that is sold back to school time, and it's all been rejected. You can't really sell this kind of stuff, but people, unscrupulous people, try to market items just to sell them for back to school. And I said, I've never heard anything like that, Kenny. And he says, yeah. He said, I got a box full of this stuff in the garage. I'll be happy to bring it over. And so he did. We got it for you tonight. Paul, here we go. The back to school.
Rejected back to school items.
Thank you very much. Now you're going to see these, and I think immediately you'll see why they've been rejected.
Okay.
Okay, look at this. Right off the bat. Take a look at that. This had to be rejected.
Why?
Crayolas that have been left out in the sun.
I see.
Here, look at that. Look, there, you can't sell those. See? Look, they've been left out in the sun, for heaven's sakes.
No wonder they've been rejected.
Exactly. I don't think I'll be taking any more calls from Kenny. Oh, now this, when I saw this, I said, Kenny, you're kidding me. He says, no, this is an item. They were trying to sell it. Take a look at this. And I think maybe you could hurt yourself. This is the Black & Decker high-powered chalkboard eraser clapper.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
You can't have that. But they tried to. Back to school, and they said, no.
Good idea, though. Good idea.
But in what sense is it a good idea?
Well, you know, sometimes you get the erasers full of chalk, and you wish, you know, this sometimes doesn't do it. You say to yourself, it'd be nice to have a power thing. But in practice, you can see that you can't really. So you'd have to reject it.
All right. Oh, now this, when I saw this, I was stunned. You know Oreo cookies? You love them?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, it's a back-to-school item, and thank God somebody stepped in and put their foot down. I don't know if it was Kenny, but somebody did.
Uh-huh.
Look at this. Oreo cookies that contain Clearasil. Oreo cookies with Clearasil. Thank you, Bob Vila.
Yes.
What I was trying to think of earlier.
Right.
Name just came to me.
Yeah, good.
Thought I'd throw it in. Now this, I don't know. This is just somebody trying to make money, and it makes no sense to me. You're not going to believe this when you see it. This is the no-ringed binder. You know, you have like a 3-ring binder or a 5 or a 6-ring.
Sure.
The no-ring.
No-ring binder.
Look at that.
Oh, well, that, yeah.
They tried to sell that.
Well, there's no rings. There's no rings in it. Nothing to hold the paper in. Obviously,
Kenny is very well-meaning.
Yeah, of course.
Now, this one, I'm surprised, but I can see their point. This is a videotape that they were selling, and a lot of kids were buying these. Take a look at this. This is a video now that you can take with you to school of your dog eating your homework.
Oh,
Watch that. Take a look at this. See, there he is. So that you can have this excuse. But my dog, well, and then you have it. I don't think Kenny finished high school. Now, this looks like it's just darn right harmful. Look at this. Liquid paper soda. They were selling liquid paper soda. Well, no. you could use it, and also, you know, it's like
well, no wonder they had to reject that, yeah. Wait a minute. Wait, what are you...
Wait a minute.
What are you doing?
I'll just...
No, what are you...
Well, that's poison. Oh, man, look at this. Thank God somebody rejected this, because you get a little of this going, and it's...
What is that?
Well, look.
It looks like an apple.
It just looks exactly like an apple. The first day of school, you take an apple to your teacher? Well, no. Take a look. You pull it up. Look, inside, there's a $50 bill. It's a bribe. It's a bribing apple. And finally... Are you ready? Okay. You know how they have the little lunch boxes that the kids like taking back to school? They put their lunch in them and stuff, and they have little themes and little like cartoon characters or, you know, pop stars and that kind. This one, and I'm going to show it to you now, and you have to promise me you won't be stunned to the point of collapsing or passing out.
All right.
Look at this. They tried to sell this to the kids.
What is it?
Would you believe that? I'm a bedwetter. It's just awful, isn't it?
Rejected back to school
Thank you very much, Paul. On the show tonight, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, Miss America, and Pete Yorn. It's a pretty good show. Hope you come back. Thanks for being here, ladies and gentlemen.
Joe has attitude.
Joe, anger management. Joe, anger management.
Terry has issues.
Every nickel that we spend is a nickel that we have to steal. Now, that's a lot of nickels.
They're hitting the road.
Morning, ladies.
Is this a joke?
No, ma'am. This is a bank robbery.
But the road is hitting back.
Are you all right? Oh!
Bandits.
What'd you do that for? I got anger management issues.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, October 12th.
What did you have for dinner?
Last night I had microwave popcorn and cold spaghetti. No big deal. The other night I had a pint of mint chocolate chip. Oh, I had pizza that was older than me.
I had herb roasted chicken in a rich, creamy mushroom sauce with roasted red skin potatoes, broccoli, and red peppers. It was lean cuisine.
Do something good for yourself with Stouffer's Lean Cuisine. It's not just lean, it's cuisine.
Sometimes you just need to brush. Big time. That's why there's Trident gum. Chewing Trident after eating helps fight cavities. Can't brush? Chew on this.
Go, Brady, go!
Sonny, use 1-800-COLLECT.
That hurts! What hurts is not respecting the people you call collect, fool!
Save them at least a buck or two, sucker!
1-800-COLLECT. I got it. It's easy.
Use your head. Dial 1-800-COLLECT.
The Chrysler PT Cruiser. With plenty of storage spaces, 26 seating configurations, room for 5, and a huge cargo area. The inside is pure genius. Get a Chrysler PT Cruiser starting at $16,500, $20,600, nicely equipped.
Wireless. It's my morning coffee in a thermos, not a paper cup. Wireless is a conference call into the stars. It's information in a breast pocket, not a file cabinet. Wireless is catching a big fish and a small fish at the same time. I can see wireless, and I like what I see. AT&T Wireless, your world close at hand.
If the way it's made doesn't convince you, or the durability, or the safety, or the comfort, or the performance, or the way you're treated, if all that doesn't make you want to buy a Saturn, no offer will. Of course, we could be wrong.
Get 0.9% APR financing on select 2002 models. For restrictions, see your retailer.
Thank you, Paul and Felicia. On the show, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, Miss America, Katie Harmon. It's going to be very exciting. We always tradition here on the show, since we've been doing it for many, many years. Every time there is a new Miss America, the first stop she makes is right here, and then that's when it officially begins. It's not official till Miss America has been in that chair, and then it starts.
That's right.
That's right. And Pete Yorn. That'll be something lovely musically. Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's Top 10. Let's try this. The category, Top 10 signs your wife is having an affair with the Jolly Green Giant.
Uh-oh.
I don't know that this has ever happened. I don't know the man. I've never met him. And I never heard anything about somebody's wife having an affair with the Jolly Green Giant, but you never know. I'll bet it's happened. You know, just the way, that's the way people are. And now we have signs, and if you suspect your wife, then maybe you want to listen. I think my wife may be seeing the Jolly Green Giant. Well, if that's you, my friend, you've come to the right place tonight, because we're going to put you on the road here to marital bliss. It's Top 10 signs your wife is having an affair with the Jolly Green Giant. All right, here we go. Number 10, you find a love letter addressed to my ho-ho-ho. Ouch. Number 9, bottle of shampoo in a shower which reads for oily green hair. Number 8, complains to marriage counselor, you're not jolly, green, or giant. Number 7, secret admirer keeps leaving crates of frozen peas on your lawn. Number 6, her lingerie reeks of creamed spinach.
This is
I guess.
Reality TV.
I guess.
Yeah.
Number 5, in newest commercials, the Jolly Green Giant is wearing your bathrobe. Oh, that's ouch. Number 4, the way she gazes longingly at a spear of asparagus. Number 3, your last 2 kids have been green. You see now that? Number 2, you've never seen anyone eat corn on the cob that way. And the number 1 sign your wife is having an affair with the Jolly Green Giant, she makes disparaging remarks about your niblets. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mayor of New York City, the Honorable Rudolph Giuliani. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions you've probably heard already, but I want to ask them for me and for everybody else on the show. First of all, you look great. Are you feeling all right?
I feel pretty good. I can't quite figure out why, but I do.
And you know, before the attack, there was concern about your health problems, and that situation is under control?
Yep, it's under control. Yeah. I finished all the radiation in January. And I feel good.
And if you don't mind, again, can you just tell me how your September 11th began?
It began with a breakfast at the Peninsula Hotel, and then at about 8:55, I was notified that a plane, and the original notification was a twin-engine plane, had struck one of the towers of the World Trade Center, and that there was a fire at the World Trade Center. It didn't sound like what it turned out to be. I mean, it sounded like something serious, but not a terrorist attack, So I rushed down there, and as I was going downtown, the Peninsula Hotel's Midtown, I was heading downtown, and we began to get the reports. It started to sound worse and worse. When I got to St. Vincent's Hospital, I could see the doctors out on the street and the nurses, and they already had stretchers out. And I realized they must be getting ready for something very big. And then at that point, we saw a big flash of light, and that's when the second plane hit. And once the second plane hit, we knew obviously it was a terrorist attack. And since then, my life hasn't been the same, and neither has anyone else's. But
you had a very, very close call yourself. You were trapped for a time.
We're very fortunate. Myself, the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, 3 of my 4 deputy mayors, communications director. We were all in an office that had been taken over as a command post, 75 Barclay Street, when one of the towers came down, and it started hitting our building. And then we tried to get out 3 different exits, couldn't get out, and finally got out one exit, and were able to. We were about 2 blocks away when the second tower came down, and we were able to escape that as well. But in the course of it, we lost some of the people that I've worked with, known for many, many years. So and we're still. My administrative assistant's husband is missing, and I mean there are a number of people I know very well that we lost.
One of the infinite stories about courage is the number of firefighters who were lost.
Well,
it's hard to imagine.
Right when I got there, we went over to West Street where the fire department command post was. It was being commanded by the number 2 and number 3 people in the fire department, and the fire commissioner was off at the rescue at that time. Then he joined me, and both of those men, Peter Gansey and Bill Feehan, died, and we saw them maybe 20, 30 minutes before they died. And Father Michael Judge, who was a very, very close friend of mine, I passed, shook hands with him, said, "God bless you," and he died while giving the last rites to someone. So it's a horrendous experience. I mean, I guess I knew it was really terrible when I looked up at 104, the 104th floor of the tower, and I saw a man jumping out of the window. And once you see that, you realize how horrible this is. And then ultimately, when you look back on it, you just say, God decided who was going to make it and who wasn't. And I mean, the numbers are staggering. It's impossible to really even comprehend. I think it's going to take years to comprehend the amount of damage that was done to human life with this one attack.
Now, when something like this happens, and nothing like this has ever happened, so it makes it doubly impossible, how do you know what to do when you go down there and you're just thrust into the center of mayhem and chaos? As an administrator, as the man running the city, even at that moment, how do you know what to do? What do you do? I mean, other than help as best you can at the site, what are your responsibilities?
You kind of invent it, I guess, as you go along. And the one benefit New York City has, not just me, but thousands and thousands, we go through emergencies every day. Obviously, much smaller emergencies than this one. So we have a pattern that we follow. Basically, what I was trying to do was to set up a command post where we could communicate, so that I could get the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, myself, and the head of emergency management, so that I could get us on television, on the radio, to tell people what to do, to give them some advice, to explain to them that they should get in the stairways, they should get away from the building, where they can go for help. And we have a whole drill. We've gone through this drill maybe, we've gone through the drill probably 4 or 5 times to how to react to a terrorist incident. And we've gone through other emergencies, you know, numerous times. So we were following a pattern that we had set up for other emergencies and for the drills that we've done for terrorist attack, biochemical warfare. The only thing, and as we were going through them, I kept saying to myself, this isn't a drill.
Right.
I mean, this is for real.
After the first sign of the first plane going into the tower, how long do you think it took before the situation was assessed accurately and an orderly pursuit of the problem was underway?
From the very first moment, the fire department and the police department did what they were supposed to do.
Right.
They didn't know what they were dealing with, but they did what they were supposed to do, which was to evacuate people from the building in an orderly way. And this part of it, I don't think has been focused on enough. 25,000 to 30,000 people were saved. If they had not known what to do and taken advantage of every second that they were given, and they didn't know how much time they had. I mean, they didn't know if it was going to be 20 minutes or it was going to be an hour, it was going to be an hour and 10 minutes, but they very wisely took advantage of all that time. When the first plane hit, those buildings had somewhere between 25 and 30,000 people in them. We have 6,000 people missing, somewhat over 6,000 people missing. So they saved more lives than I think in any rescue mission ever. And to the families of the firefighters and police officers and rescue workers, and I mean, there are thousands and thousands of families in America now in their debt for having carried it out that way.
It's admirable that nearly from the first minute there was some order to rescue and save people in place and functioning.
I watched it from about, I guess I must have gotten there at about, I'm gonna say about 9:10, 9:12, something like that. So I watched most of the effort. And the thing that I come away with, aside from the scenes of horror that remain in your mind, is the way people acted. They evacuated quickly, they ran when they had to, but they didn't trample each other. They didn't. Some of the worst things that people imagine would happen in a situation like that did not happen. They were dignified and they were brave. And I think that's a wonderful tribute to them, an absolutely wonderful tribute to them.
Speaking of brave, you were at it, sure. You were out at Shea Stadium. That shows courage on your part.
Well, we're all unified as Americans.
What was that evening like?
It was very strange for me. I'm a Yankee fan. Did you know that? Did you know that was Yankee? I'm a Yankee fan. And so usually when I go to Shea Stadium, which I go to Shea Stadium because I enjoy baseball. I root for the Mets in the National League, although Met fans don't believe this, but I do. I root for them in the National League. I showed up at Shea Stadium, and I'm used to what happens. I went to all the playoff games last year and the World Series games, and I mean, usually I get, you know, booed and they yell at me, "Go back to the Bronx, you bum! Go back to the Bronx, you bum! Get out of here!" So when I got to Shea Stadium on Friday night, I wanted to go to thank the Mets because I thought they did one of the most beautiful things, and that is to put on the caps of the New York Fire Department, the Port Authority, the Police Department.
Very nice.
Put it on their heads and play with it. So I went there to thank them. I shook hands with all of the Met players. And then I came out on the field and I got just a tremendous amount of applause. And I leaned over and I said to Peter Vallone, who was with me, I said, "Peter, I'll know things get back to normal when they start booing me again."
Absolutely.
This is not normal.
And it turned out to be quite a game as well, didn't it?
It was a great game.
Yeah. We'll be right back here with Mayor Giuliani.
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it on Switchboard.com, the free online yellow pages with businesses, people, and products nationwide, plus maps and directions to help you get there. Switchboard.com. It's the yellow pages electrified.
It's Applebee's Fiesta del Grill. Lose yourself in our one and only lime marinated chicken. Or for a limited time, the sizzling Southwest steak skillet. Only at Applebee's. Who's grilling America's favorite sirloin steaks? Well, sink your teeth into our perfectly seasoned house sirloin and you'll know. It's got to be Applebee's. Eating good, eating good.
Every turn in the road and change in the weather could be the difference between arriving first and dead last.
It's gonna cost us 12 damn hours.
All new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
The CR-V from Honda. It'll take you to the mountains. It'll take you to the beaches. It'll take you to the desert. It'll take you just about anywhere. But it won't take you to the cleaners. The CR-V from Honda. While supplies last, get special APR financing as low as 3.9% for 36 months on 2001 CR-Vs.
My baby is American made, born and bred in the USA.
When you're ready for a real candy bar, nothing works like the nutty, chewy taste of a Baby Ruth from Nestle.
Most people see a lowly rodent. Seed eaters see a role model.
A Consumer's Digest Best Buy. Smart designs that maximize room, comfort, and ride. Now with low 0.9 financing on Dodge Stratus, Intrepid, and Neon. Or $1,500 cash allowance. See, compare, ride, Dodge during the Team Dodge sales event.
Thank you very much. From very early on, you heard people discussing what will eventually become of the site of the Twin Towers. What have you thought about that? Whose jurisdiction is it? Who makes that decision?
I've thought about it. The state and the city of New York will have to make that decision. Governor Pataki and I will appoint a commission to study various recommendations, because a lot of people should really be heard from. But obviously, one of the things that's really important is the right kind of memorial. And then beyond that, you can figure out what kind of economic development should take place. But the most important thing is really a memorial. And you probably need some time to get away from the event to really figure out what's the best thing to do. And the families of the people who were lost there should have a lot to say about it.
Yeah. How was the event in Yankee Stadium yesterday?
It was beautiful. It was really absolutely beautiful. It was a very, very, I think, very, very beautiful and dramatic representation of how I mean, these terrorists, cowardly terrorists, tried to separate us, tried to frighten us, and what they achieved in doing is unifying America more than it's ever been unified before.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I keep... I mean, personally, the way I kind of look at it, not that it matters, not that anyone cares, but it seems like now we have a national project, we have a collective project, and we really haven't had one of those, you know, in a long, long time. We got one now. It's a big project, and it's going to last a long time, but I think we can prevail. I think we can be successful in pulling it off. That's the attitude.
I believe we can. The President Bush is determined. I think he's determined that we have to end terrorism. That the reality is we see what they can do to us if we don't end their ability to do it.
That's right.
And I've taken the President of France over the site. I've taken numerous other people, and I keep making the point that this can happen anywhere in the United States or in the world, and therefore our goal has to be to end terrorism. And then the next goal that we have, and this is why I'm so happy that you came back to work and you're back tonight, people have to go back to normal. They have to not be afraid.
Well, you're the reason that we came back last week. And you're doing a great job. I was talking to friends who went to the theater over the weekend, and they said that the crowds are back, and they thought that they'd get great seats. Well, no, people are still packing in the theaters now, and it's all because of you.
And you got to come to New York and visit. And I spent some money. How about that? Okay, spend some money. We need you to come back. There are a lot of plays to go to, a lot of restaurants to go to. We're going to have the playoffs and World Series here. I'm sure of it. We do every year.
And I don't want to point out, I don't want to blow my own horn, but we have dropped our ticket prices here, too. So they're not...
But I believe it's particularly important for the children to be told not to be afraid, that everything is being done to maintain security that you can in a free society, and more at this point. And there are some things that are just beyond all of our control. I think I learned that throughout this incident that myself and my staff and everybody else lived through. The determination of how that building fell and who was going to live, who was going to die, and who was going to be injured was beyond our control. You just had to make the most intelligent decisions you could make about trying to save as many people as possible. Yeah. And that's the way life is, and we should go ahead and now live it.
What was your, I saw you in Congress for the presidential speech Thursday night. How did you feel about that?
I don't think I've ever sat through a speech that I thought was more unifying, more dramatic, better presented. And I thought President Bush, in addition to rallying America, which he did, I thought he explained the nature of terrorism. I thought it was an instructional speech. I mean, it gave you a sense of what you have to deal with and how we have to be ready, and how we have to be ready to be consistent about this and not just do it for a little while.
Yeah, I thought it was great, and I felt much, much better about what the future would be in this country after that Thursday night.
And that also demonstrated the unity of America. I mean, you have Democrats, Republicans, people, all different ideologies. They probably we still have our differences about other things, but on this issue, everybody is united behind the president.
Do you have any understanding about the human mechanism or how it was bent that caused this?
No, I've raised this question with so many people in the government, psychologists, psychiatrists, others that I've been able to talk to. I think we have a very hard time comprehending how so many human beings could dream up a plot like this, stay with it for a long, long period of time, appear to be intelligent human beings, because you couldn't have done this without having intellect, and still be so warped, so hateful, so inhumane to be able to carry it out. I mean, I think we have a hard time as Americans confronting that, because we can deal with the individual instances. I mean, we've had assassinations with an individual who was violent or insane. But to have a whole group that could coordinate something like this gives you a sense of how dangerous what we're facing is and why we have to eliminate it.
But you are confident that we will prevail, aren't you?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. I mean, I have no doubt about it. No. This is the other thing that I think it demonstrated to me is something I wasn't sure of. I wasn't sure, I don't think any of us were sure, how strong, how tough, and how resilient this generation of Americans is. You know, we know about the generation that fought the Second World War, and we know about...
We haven't really been tested. Yeah, it hasn't been called for.
You watch people, I watched how people reacted to this, and how they're dealing with it, and how these are extraordinarily strong people. I mean, Americans have been tested now, and I think the response to the test is going to be a very unified country.
I agree with that.
And a response that make sure that we prevail.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like you to be here every night. Is that possible? Could you fit 12 minutes?
In spirit.
Now,
you know, I think that you have, throughout the years, done a remarkable job of promoting New York and helping us bring people to the city of New York. I do.
I don't know.
And I'll say one other thing, because I know you don't want to hear it, but what you did last week in coming back and the way you spoke to people helped to restore confidence.
Yeah, but that was all you. That was all you. I'm telling you, that was all you. And now, of course, they talk about, well, maybe the mayor can or will or have somebody extend his term. They talk about maybe he will, rules be changed so he can run again. Well, in your heart, in a quiet moment, God knows you probably don't have many quiet moments, but have you been inspired or motivated, or have you had an idea coalesce about your future with the city?
Yet. I haven't. I really haven't. I haven't had the time. Haven't had the time to sit down and think about it, talk to people, figure out what the right thing to do is. I'll probably do that in the next few days, but I haven't really had the time to do that.
I know politics now just seems frivolous.
It doesn't. Every time, I mean, a couple of days ago, about 2 days ago, I said, well, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to think about it, then the minute I do, I realized this morning that we weren't going to enough funerals, that we were burying.
What a realization that is.
We're burying firefighters, and as the mayor of New York City up until now, I've been at every single funeral of every single firefighter, police officer, their correction officer, sanitation worker, the uniformed people of New York City. And we have so many now going on in one day, and we have an emergency to deal with at the same time, that so I tried to work out a system so that we could get people to all of them, and I'm going to try to go to more of them.
You know, that comes to you is remarkable, and that's all one needs to know about your character. Are any of these things that people talk about legislatively viable? The term extension, running again for another term, is any of that possible? Can it be done? I mean,
it can be done, but I mean, it's really a question of whether it should be, and you know, I have to really think about that, and other people have to really decide that.
Yeah, I just can't. I mean, I hate the fact that we had to go through this, but I can't imagine having gone through it with anybody else. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. But the credit goes. I got to say one thing. Just have to say one thing. It isn't. I would feel very guilty if I walked out of here and you thought this applause was just for me. It isn't. I have unbelievable commissioners. I mean, the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, Tom Von Essen, police commissioner Bernard Kerrick, the head of emergency management, Richie Shearer, my deputy mayors. I mean, we all survived together, so we got even closer.
Right.
And the reality is I have thousands and thousands and thousands of police officers, firefighters, emergency workers, EMS workers, court officers. I mean, I'm kind of like resting on their shoulders, and I help to support them, but they help to support me, and they deserve your applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's true. It's a great team, but you're the coach.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for the time here tonight.
Mayor Rudolph Giuliani, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with Miss America.
You are no longer soldiers.
The man gets off on our misery.
You're a great man. I'm sorry about what has happened.
You cannot take away from us who we are. The only thing that matters here is what we are now and what we do now. Now!
Robert Redford, James Gandolfini, The Last Castle, rated R. Starts Friday, October 19th.
Are you open? Open to the new spirit of hair color? Introducing Open. It's the first soft permanent color gel by L'Oreal with low ammonia and botanical conditioners for vibrantly natural color that's so soft touch. Get Open by L'Oreal Paris.
When I used to take antacids, I always thought of that kid in school who ate weird things, like chalk. All those other antacids taste so chalky. Well, things have changed. Now there's Surpass Antacid Chewing Gum from Wrigley Healthcare. It tastes great and keeps working long after you stop chewing. My heartburn's gone, and Surpass still tastes great. Oh, honey, don't eat that. New Surpass Antacid. Great big relief. Great little gum.
There's a place where I get my favorite Italian sauces with all kinds of pastas, plus all the salad and breadsticks I want. Sounds like Mom's house, but it's Olive Garden and their never-ending pasta bowl for $7.95. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
New sneakers to help her play basketball and win a college scholarship. $26.
Books to help her learn her ABCs and become a best-selling author, $30. Globe so she can learn her continents, which will come in handy when she's president, $18. Remembering to take it one day at a time, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Accept it for everything you want for your kids.
Tuesday's highest-rated drama returns for an all-new season. Emmy nominees Tyne Daly and Amy Brenneman. The season premiere of Judging Amy. CBS Tuesday.
You know, most wireless plans offer you like a bucket full of minutes, but if you take a close look inside, you can't even see the weekday minutes. Oh, no. Oh, there they are. Oh, wait a minute. Hello, little minutes.
3,000 whenever minutes, only from VoiceStream.
She's the biggest sport utility on the planet.
Yeah, big.
8.5 feet wide. Seats 84.
While other companies were busy thinking bigger, Subaru was thinking smarter. That's why the Forester gives you the rugged traction of all-wheel drive with a smooth, easy car-like ride.
Coming any other colors? No, that's pretty much it.
Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
Now you can get an APR as low as 2.9% on all 2002 Forester models.
Don't you just love waiting for the sun to go down to use your wireless phone? I mean, what could you possibly have to say during the hours you're actually awake?
3,000 whenever minutes. VoiceStream gives you the most whenever minutes, guaranteed.
If you want to get into our most award-winning lineup of Chrysler vehicles ever, you've got to get into this, the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance. Now get financing as low as 0.9% or get 1.9 APR for up to $4,500 in savings. Or get up to a $2,000 cash allowance on select vehicles. Hurry to the Chrysler Model Year-End Clearance today. The 2001 models are going fast, so you should be even faster.
That Mayor Giuliani, that's the guy I wish I could be, you know?
Why?
Unbelievable.
I'll say.
Just unbelievable.
Me too.
And I wouldn't mind being Miss America either. Over the weekend in Atlantic City, our next guest was crowned Miss America 2002. From the great state of Oregon, please welcome your new Miss America, Katie Harmon, everybody. Well, now you're officially Miss America.
That's
How does
right.
it feel?
Oh, incredible. Surreal.
Do you know the Miss America theme song words? Do they quiz you on that? Do you have to know them?
No, they didn't quiz us, but when Tony was practicing in our
Tony
rehearsals,
Danza?
we
Yeah.
were singing right along. It was
And when you're coming down the runway, is it a runway they have you come down?
runway.
You had crown problems. What happened?
I did.
Yeah.
And actually, when I went back onto the stage to hug the other girls, it fell off.
Really?
I'm not sure if anyone saw that. Kelly Glorioso, Miss Maryland, took a dive leap and she caught it. That's
God.
our lifestyle and fitness right there. You can tell that she was definitely.
Now, this happened once before. 1970, Phyllis George actually busted the crown.
It fell, splattered right there.
And she was disqualified, right?
Oh, no.
Huh?
No.
She was fined, right?
No.
Now, what do you win for the Miss America? It's a scholarship pageant.
Absolutely.
Now, what do you get for that? How big is the scholarship?
Well, to win Miss America, it's a $50,000 scholarship.
Oh, Nellie.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. But I've been in the competition for now 2 years, the Miss America organization, through the Miss Oregon Scholarship Program and then through the organization itself. And I've earned over $75,000.
Oh, my God. Pretty good. Now, all of this goes to your education, to the education of others. How do you work that?
My education. It can fund school loans, but mostly just my education. I'm right in the middle of my undergraduate education. I'll be a junior at Portland State University.
Right.
And so I have the rest of undergrad and graduate school to go to.
Now do you continue to go to school while you're Miss America? Or
no, absolutely not. Actually, I take the year off. I'll be traveling 20,000 miles a month.
Oh, a month?
A month in a new city every single day.
Can you call in sick and you say, I just don't feel...
I don't know, about that. I don't know that I can do
20,000 miles a month. And what kind of things is it? What kind of gigs are we looking at?
Just lots of speaking appearances. I have a platform issue that I promote, and it's providing support for terminal breast cancer patients. And obviously, with the current state of the United States right now after our attacks, it's very important for me to embrace that and to make sure that as an American icon, that I can provide hope to the American people and make sure that I'm a leader for them.
Now, could you, we're talking to the mayor about running again or staying in office. Could you come back and run again?
Hey, no, I couldn't. I can't extend my term limits.
No, that would be fantastic. Now, this would put a little into the contest, or the pageant, where the returning Miss America comes back to do battle with all of the other. Kind of like Iron Chef. We'll be right back with Miss America, everybody.
There's some profoundly evil people walking the streets right now. I don't handicap myself with rules.
You ain't no police. Stop that fool!
It can't be like this.
I'm the police. King Kong ain't got nothing on me.
You never know. That's the point.
Training Day, rated R. Starts October 5th.
A unique 5-door design. Formula One style E-Shift. Introducing the IS300 Sport Cross from Lexus. Totally unexpected. At your Lexus dealer.
Oh, tonight on your Late Late Show from the new series Philly, Tom Everett Scott. From the practice, Virginia Madsen, and the music of Jill Sobule.
Hotshot attorney Nicholas Fallon got into trouble with the law.
I am sentencing you to community service, working for Children's Legal Services as a child advocate.
Now he's forced to defend the most desperate clients.
You don't want to be doing this, do you?
Truth be told, no, I don't.
The Guardian premieres CBS Tuesday after JAG.
That's the one. Perfect match. Oh, she's gonna go nuts. She's going to love this. Oh, I score.
Honey?
Hey.
Got a little surprise for you. So do I. I actually found someone to buy this old lamp. Isn't that great? $500.
Whether you're buying or selling on eBay, use your Visa card. Visa, eBay's preferred way to pay.
Joins the 3,000 hit club.
Run number 400 for Cal Ripken. Rounds third is Dan. Waves him home.
A new consecutive game record. Baseball's new iron.
Dad? Dad? Ready to go?
Yeah.
A JAG officer lost at sea. Now the fight to survive begins on the season premiere that will leave you breathless. An all-new JAG, CBS Tuesday. Critics say Wolf Lake has X-Files creepiness.
The bones will tell you everything you need to know.
And a lot of howling.
You know that she's in there.
An all-new Wolf Lake, CBS Wednesday. Viewer discretion advised.
I'll get this. Oh, a platinum card. There's always a catch. Low rates that explode. Hidden fees. It's highway robbery. Actually, I have a Capital One platinum card.
Get a new Capital One Platinum card with a 9.9% fixed rate that starts low and stays low, plus no balance transfer fees.
What's in your wallet?
Quitting smoking? Here, taste this.
Nicorette Orange. Only from Nicorette.
Now, this just may be a flavor I can quit with.
Sometimes victory's so close.
You can taste it.
You can do it. Nicorette Orange can help.
He's at the 10, the 5. Fumble!
Get your hands on new Game Day Cheez-It crackers. Football shapes for football fans.
The most powerful Duracell Ultra ever. In remote control toys, it's the most powerful alkaline battery in the world.
You want incredible color.
But you also want incredible hair.
Intense color, lasting color.
Color that loves your hair.
Hydrians. Incredible color that's incredibly gentle.
Its unique water-based color cream hydrates your hair with pure permanent color.
Nothing penetrates deeper to cover gray better or last longer.
But Hydrians won't shock your hair.
So you get
color that's rich
and shining.
Hydrians by Clairol. A beauty all your own. Where's my butcher?
Where is my baker?
Where's my wax-fingered candlestick maker?
Where is my lawnmower?
And where's my blender?
Where is my outdated,
chrome-plated
used car fender?
Where is my mover? Where's my shaker? Where is my tawny,
brawny
leaf raker?
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it on Switchboard.com. The free online yellow pages with businesses, people, and products nationwide. Even links to websites and more. Switchboard.com. It's the yellow pages electrified.
This weekend, Enterprise Rent-A-Car announces special low rates from just $9.99 a day. Friday till Monday from just $9.99 a day. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
1-800-RENT-A-CAR.
Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2. How were the terrorists so well organized? The answer may be in this book. Investigators call it a how-to manual of bin Laden's terrorism. Wednesday at 8, 7 Central.
Following the terror trail, as the military buildup moves forward, our worldwide coverage continues. America Fights Back tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Lady Harmon, do you have a boyfriend?
I do have a boyfriend.
Now, is that going to be all right? I mean, talk about pressure on this guy. His girlfriend is Miss America. My God.
He's very, very supportive,
Yeah.
especially during this time. He's been extremely supportive.
Now, if you weren't Miss America, or maybe even though you are, I mean, could just tell me etiquette-wise. If I asked you, let's go get like a beer. Like, could you as Miss America? Could you and I, Dave, had a beer with Miss America? That just would that
do it.
Now, what if you weren't Miss America? Would you have a beer with me if you weren't Miss America?
I would, absolutely. I'm not sure that I'd have a beer. I'd probably have a chai tea or water. I'm actually a water fanatic, so I'd let you have the beer, but I'd go out with you anyway, though.
Oh,
yeah.
So I got. Thank you. That's certainly good news for the boyfriend. Think about that back there in Oregon, my friend.
He'd understand. He'd understand.
Now, what do you do now? Where are you off to now? It's a whirlwind thing, and it begins right now. And where are they taking you now? What do you do?
Well, this morning, actually, I was on Good Morning America. Went straight over to Regis and Kelly.
Oh, that loser.
No. They were wonderful.
But the rain officially begins here.
No, well, okay.
Yes.
And then I had a press conference at the Intercontinental Hotel, which they've been wonderful. That's where
Was
I'm
Regis
staying.
nice to you?
He was.
Did he behave himself?
Nice. Yes, he definitely behaved himself. I went and had a press conference with 17 Magazine, and also I visited with Engine Company 8.
Oh, good for
and
you.
Also Precinct 17, Police Precinct,
Good for
and
you.
extremely touching. I've got to tell you, it was an extremely emotional moment for me. I had not seen up close and personal.
Well, it's
the
heroism.
letters
It's
and
heroism.
Extremely.
Every house in the city, it's just nothing but
I
heroism.
have so much respect for them, for what they have done. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, I hope you have a nice year as Miss America.
Thank you.
And if you want to come back and run again next year, I'll be happy to.
Okay.
I'll handle that for you. I'll be like your manager. We'll put it together.
Let the next girl do it. It's such an incredible year.
Were the girls nice? How did they seem this year?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Well, we became so close. We were each other's family because of everything that happened.
Yeah.
My family was 3,000 miles away.
So you support one another.
Absolutely.
Good for you. Well, nice to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Katie
much.
Harmon is Miss America. We'll be right back, everybody.
CBS Wednesday, The Amazing Race is on. Every turn in the road, every change in the weather could be the difference between arriving first and dead last.
It's gonna cost us 12 damn hours.
Don't miss the show critics call sensational, The Amazing Race. Then, if you thought creatures that could change from human to wolf were only legend, you've never been to Wolf Lake. Critics say it has X-Files creepiness and a lot of howling.
You know that she's in there.
An all-new Wolf Lake after an all-new Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
Well, maybe I didn't last too long on the island, but I have survived the challenge of a lifetime, cancer. And I did it with help from the American Cancer Society, a community of people whose love and support meant more to me than I could possibly say. Find out how the Cancer Survivors Network and the American Cancer Society can help you be a strong survivor. Call 1-877-333-HOPE or visit cancer.org.
Being burned lately? Let's take it back. Make that choice. Before you have fun in the sun, learn before you burn. Even a few serious sunburns can increase your risk of getting skin cancer. So, choose your cover.
The American dream. We refuse to let anyone take it away. So GM announces interest-free financing on every new car and every new truck, now through October 31st. Believe in the dream. Believe in each other. Keep America rolling.
Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel.
Giving your best. It's what you do for your family every day. And it's what Safeway has believed in for 75 years. Safeway, giving our best.
Looking for a different deal every day? Then there's nothing like your Northwest McDonald's. Introducing our 99-cent different days, different deals. Like Mondays, when you can get our famous Big Mac for an incredible 99 cents. Or 99-cent 6-piece Chicken McNuggets Tuesdays. Or Big and Tasty Wednesdays for a 99-cent Big and Tasty sandwich. Or Thursdays, when our double cheeseburger is just 99 cents. McDonald's, different days, different deals. A 99-cent deal any day of the week.
At McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
See you later, Dad.
See you, buddy.
I'm back. Hi, Dad.
Your home says a lot about you. This, however, can be a problem if it's saying you've had the same sheets since the 80s, or your blender's seen one milkshake too many. For a home that says great things about you, go to Mervyn's. Mervyn's has the big brands your home deserves. Cuisinart, KitchenAid, Fieldcrest, Samsonite. All at small prices that won't require a second mortgage. Another reason why Mervyn's starts with me. What? Oh, these brands, they say such nice things about me. Mervyn's, big brands, small prices.
I like this one. I like this one.
Green or blue?
Anything but beige.
Decisions, decisions.
I'm not afraid of color, I think.
At least one choice is easy.
Home Depot is the place for paint.
The paint is me.
She makes it easy, so she can make it gorgeous.
See? Nothing to be afraid of.
Here's your color match.
Wow.
My home is my masterpiece. Lots of color. That's why I went to Home Depot first.
The Home Depot.
20 million Americans suffer from anxiety disorders. Symptoms may include feeling irritable, edgy, nervous, worried, stressed, uptight. If you or someone you know is suffering from anxiety, there is a place to turn. Make an appointment at Pacific Northwest Clinical Research Center. You can participate in an investigational medication research study for anxiety at no cost. Call Pacific Northwest Clinical Research Center at 503-228-CARE.
Trying to chase down the best wireless deal? Fortunately, Car Toys experts have the knowledge to help find the perfect plan for you and your budget. Check out Quest Wireless and save $110 at Car Toys. Instantly save $60 on a Kyocera phone, plus get $50 of free accessories. And with this Quest Wireless plan, you can talk for hours. For just $34.99, you get 3,300 minutes with nationwide long distance included. Offer in September 30th, so hurry to Car Toys.
Car Toys. Better way to go.
The Chrysler PT Cruiser. With plenty of storage spaces, 26 seating configurations, room for 5, and a huge cargo area. The inside is pure genius.
Get a Chrysler PT Cruiser starting at $16,500, $20,600, nicely equipped.
You can plan ahead because Sweeney said so. Weeknights on Coin 6 News.
Today on Sally.
They're manly women.
I'm a cowboy.
Doing a man's job.
I play in the dirt, and I love it.
Their men are begging Sally.
She looks rough as a corn cob.
Make my macho mate.
She can repair a Harley Davidson.
Look like a lady.
What do you say? I need some help up here.
Sally's makeover magicians are on the job. From tomboy to temptress, today on Sally.
Today, you're going to meet women who say they work very hard for their money, doing manly jobs. Now, even the guys have got to stick with us today because you've never seen women like this. These women get dressed every day in manly attire for work. However, they say perhaps time for change. The mates are here because they want the women to look sexy for them when they take off those work clothes at the end of the day. See, that's why I said to the guys, stay with us. Before the hair, makeup, and wardrobe guys work their magic, let's check out what our first two women, Jennifer and Shelley, look like.
My name is Jennifer. I'm a construction worker from the state of Maine, and I can do wonders with a metal frame.
Hey, Sally. Sally, I need a makeover. This is where it's at. There's no glamour in what I do. Welcome to my world. Welcome to the lunchroom, Sally.
Jennifer really needs a makeover. Full body wrap. A full body wrap because her pores are permanently dirty. Get her nice and clean and get her all dressed up so she can become a woman again. She's too tired to get all clean and sexy. Sally, we need
Please.
help.
Shelley. I'm a heavy machinery operator from sunny California, and I love being at the helm of a heavy piece of equipment.
This is where they separate the men from the boys, and the girls show them how to do the job.
Let me start it up right here.
Pull here at the accelerator. Okay. I really don't do much in the mornings to get ready. I don't do much with my hair because no matter what you do, you're going to end up with hard hat hair. These are my good jeans that aren't faded. It's all one big Tonka toy. And these are the ones that are getting a little faded. You can build and tear down anything you want with this equipment, and that's a powerful feeling. And these are the ones that have stains on them from work and have grease on them. I love what I do. I play in the dirt, and I love it. I'm comfortable. This is my skin. This is who I am. Sally, this is what I do for a living, and I absolutely love it.
Who said a woman can't do a man's job? Jennifer and Shelley both desperately need a little change when it comes to the evening so they can look sexy and beautiful for their mates, Ron and Jim, that are there with them now. Jennifer, you're from Maine. How'd you become a construction worker?
Well, Sally, I'll tell you. I started out as a traveling bookkeeper, going around, getting the crews set up. Yeah, the crews would come in behind me, and they decided that I should be doing a little bit more work. And they gave me a broom, and I started pushing a broom.
And now you're up to...
And now I'm a mechanic. I'm a metal framer. I build walls. I sheetrock them. I tape them.
Do you get as dirty as they said you do on the job?
I really do. There's no glamour in what I do. I'm filthy, I'm dirty, I stink at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Do the guys give you a hard time?
The guys do give me a hard time. And what they'll do is, for example, one day I'm working, I'm over a wall, I'm screwing stuff off, and I work with a lot of greasy metal studs. And I'm in a nice, cute little white t-shirt, and I'm filthy. They take me out to lunch. They let me go out after work.
We don't tell her she's dirty.
You don't tell her she's dirty?
She had 2 big spots right here. She never knew it.
My nickname on the job is Boobella. Because of the black marks across my chest, they call me Boobella. And that's how dirty and filthy I am. I'm a filthy, dirty girl.
See her look sexy and beautiful? All right.
Oh, yes.
Now, Shelley, I saw that heavy equipment. As somebody who doesn't even drive very much, when I take a look at that, why do you do that kind of work?
Well, I was raised on a ranch.
Okay.
And my father had 3 girls, so I was his tomboy.
And that ended?
Yes, I was his tomboy.
How did you meet your husband?
I met my husband when I was 11 years old, and he was dating my sister. No. My sister was much older, and I was in pajamas eating brownies when he picked her up, so it's safe. It's clean.
Have you ever seen her in a dress?
3 times. She, once when we got married, and then I bought her dresses, but she hasn't worn them. I got one that I bought for her 3rd or 4th anniversary, and it's still in the closet, never been worn. It's
white and lacy and
sexy
sequency
and pretty. And a lot of cleavage.
But he's trying to tell you something.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's still in the closet.
Okay, but he is trying to say something when he buys you something like that. I always take a look at what men are doing when they do that.
I'm used to dealing with guys at work. You have to be tough in the business I do. I come across men that say, well, if you don't belong out here, and I'll tell them, listen, until you can show me what lever to push with my penis, I'm staying.
Jim, I think maybe a little bit of a feminine makeover
That'd be a good
might
thing.
be all
That would
right
definitely
for that
be a good
white
thing.
All right. At this,
I have 5 kids.
You have 5?
I have 5 children. So you have to understand.
4 teenagers.
So you have to understand. And wonderful, wonderful kids. I'd like to see them on TV. So you have to understand, when I'm done working 10, 12 hours, there's still dinner, and there's still laundry.
He doesn't help around the house?
Well, I got long hours too.
He works further distance than I do.
I travel almost 2 hours.
So he really can't.
So you really do it everything.
So
Okay, now's the time for femininity. I can see the way you're both sitting. Let's get Jennifer and Shelley's makeover started. Welcome our makeover dynamic duo, Cynthia Raffel-Rickman and Richard Penn. Let's get started. Gentlemen, next time you see your women, they are no longer going to look like men, I guarantee it. Next, meet two other very unusual, grimy, dirty, working women. We'll be right back.
Next.
Jen, have you ever seen her in a dress?
Never. What's nice about it is she can repair a Harley Davidson. Very good mechanic.
When I was a kid, I was definitely a tomboy. I never had dolls. When I got dolls, I destroyed them. I loved to play in the dirt. I loved animals. And I like to beat up the boys. Help me. I've never been glamorous. Give me a chance.
Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I've had diabetes for about 20 years. I stay active and I feel pretty good most of the time. See, I do a few simple things now. I'm not perfect, but I try and watch my diet and exercise, and I check my blood sugar. And I get all my diabetic testing supplies from Liberty Medical. If you're 65 or over and on Medicare, call Liberty. They can help you live a better life. Hundreds of thousands of people trust Liberty. They're the nation's leader in home delivery of diabetic testing supplies. Bring everything you need right to your door. Fill out your insurance forms, even bill Medicare or your insurance company, and you pay no money up front. Oh, and they carry all the brands. If you have diabetes, you check your blood sugar and you check it often. There's no reason not to. And call Liberty. They can help you live a better life.
For more information on free home delivery, call toll-free 1-877-682-5803.
Hi, Pam Paulette at City Liquidators Furniture Warehouse, where you'll find a huge selection of brand name furniture new in a box at warehouse prices. Like this Mission Shaker bed, solid maple for $4.99. Or this oak Mission bed for $3.99. When's the last time you had a new Serta pillow top mattress at $3.88? Or this beautiful country floral sofa at $6.99. Maybe contemporary's more your style for $3.99. City Liquidators Furniture Warehouse, family owned since 1977.
Coin.com. Check anxiety at the door and lose the claim stub. The job you deserve is waiting. Career Center powered by hotjobs.com. Search for job listings by city, industry, or keyword. Coin.com.
You watched, helpless, as thousands were injured or killed. But now you can do something to help. Coin cares about the victims, and we've established a relief fund. Send your donation to this address or call 1-800-421-4276. You can also donate blood. Call the Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE. To make other donations or to volunteer, complete information is available at coin.com. We know you're concerned about the victims of this terrible attack. Coin cares, along with you.
On the next Sally, a fireman, a teenager, a film student. They had nothing in common until they caught tragedy unfolding. While others fled for their very lives, they stayed behind to record history. Why did they do it, and how is it affecting them? Hear their stories and see their images of horror, hope, and healing. Next Sally.
Dress like men because they do a man's job. Their lovers and friends and guys and mates and husbands want them to look a little sexy when they take off the clothes at night. So let's take a look at our next two women who are here.
Seriously, I'm from Washington State. I'm an electrician and a mechanic. And if you could see the way I wire, you'd be shocked.
Sally, I do the work of 3 men. What I'd like very much is please let me dress up for one day. This is what I wear. This is all mine. You can see there isn't any dresses in here. Oh, there's one fancy. Oh, this is very fancy. Just give me just 15 minutes of glory. It's about as fancy as we get. See, this is what I wear. And they're all muddy, they're filthy. When I go out clamming, this is what I wear. This is what I race in when I'm racing my motorcycles. Here's my helmet, my shots. When it gets really cold in the winter, I wear this. This will crack you up. I'm serious about my job. It's what I do. Serious business. This is called work. Will, if you ever need a good mechanic, let me know.
Leslie is not only an electrician, she is a welder. Okay, how'd you start this?
I'm not so much a welder, really. I'm more a mechanic.
A mechanic.
I was raised by all my biker friends, and it started out, we used to break down on the motorcycles and have a little bit of haywire and some 100-mile-an-hour
That's very feminine, that racing the motorcycles bit. That's just another added thing. You did weld somebody into believing that you were all right, though, didn't you?
The truth is, I was out on a job, and all we have is porta potties out there. Thank goodness they had one. Well, I was in the porta potty, and these fellas went ahead and took a truck and started shoving the porta potty over while I was in it. Well, that kind of ticked me off. I have a hard time with these guys every day anyways. So when they were off to lunch, I got the welders out. I took all their metal boxes and their lunch boxes, I welded them to the table and welded their boxes shut.
Very smart move. Jen, have you ever seen her in a dress?
Never.
Never saw her in a dress. What'd you think of the first time you saw her?
Well, very long legs. I'm kind of a leg man.
Okay.
She's a beautiful lady. It's just I'd like to see her in a dress.
Have you ever been mistaken for a guy? Has she ever been mistaken?
Yeah.
Yeah, they think so,
Many
right?
times.
Okay. All right, Leslie, you are going backstage with Cynthia and Richard. Come on, guys. Let's go play. All right, thank you. Quite know what to make of the next one. I'll explain why in a minute. You're going to take a look at Jean. Jean works as a cowboy, not a cowgirl. She works as a cowboy on a farm. She is a ranch handler.
Hi, I'm Jean. I'm from Veneta, Oklahoma, and I'm a cowboy. Kid, I was definitely a tomboy. I never had dolls. When I got dolls, I destroyed them. I loved to play in the dirt. I loved animals, and I like to beat up the boys. I have never dressed up like a lady. These are my clothes. This is all I have. I'm looking forward to getting to look like a lady, and I know HB is.
Hi, Sally. I'm HB. It impresses me that Jane, you know, she gets out here and she hangs with us all day long. She works as hard as any 2 men. I wouldn't want anybody else in the saddle with me.
It can sure be aggravating. Cattle never, ever do what you want them to do. Sometimes we just like to goof around to make the whole day go by a little faster. And so we have fun, we ride the steers. And you just wrap your legs around them and go. I'm riding in his neck! Bruises and bangs and bloodied knuckles and fingers and toes are just all part of it. You gotta be a real special person to like this, but HB and I love it. Sally, what do you say? Can you give me a makeover? Look at me. I desperately need help. Look at my hair. Look, I wear a hat every day. I've never been glamorous. Give me a chance.
I would like to see her dressed up, pretty. I've seen her wear mascara one time. That's about the end of that.
Everybody is always teasing me about being a little tomboy, and I'm going to show them I can be a lady too. Bye, everybody. Gotta go back to work.
She's out there working hard. The next time you see Jean, we hope she will look a little different. This is Jean's fiance, HB. What's HB stand for?
Oh, hard body.
Okay. He can't wait to see his fiance in a dress. How did you meet her?
Well, she called me out to shoot her horse and said he was lame, crippled. Called me out, and I pulled up to shoot her horse. She said he's down the road here, and we went out 300-acre pasture, and she starts hooping and hollering, and here her horse comes at a dead run.
Dead run, not lame.
No, not bad foot on him at all. Bring him in, and I go all over him. We're out there for about an hour, hour and a half looking at him. And finally she asked me, she goes, well, let's go get something to eat. And after that,
she asked you out on the first date.
Right.
Now, makeup, I think the people at Revlon must go crazy when they meet somebody like her, because that's zero sales, right? Uh-huh. Let's see Jean's makeover in a few minutes. We're going to meet two more women. One is a pipe fitter, and the other is, puts vinyl siding on buildings. Can we do anything with them? Good luck for your fiancé. We'll be right back.
Next. Sally, she looks rough as a corn cob. Her hairdo's from the 70s. It looks like my grandmother's hairdo. She wears clothes like my brother, overalls. Can we help her, please, Sally?
What can you do to help me here? To look like a girl? See what you can do, Sally. Thanks.
I don't think I look like a lady half the time because I am dressed in coveralls and boots and with the tool belt, so I don't look ladyish enough.
Okay, Sally, what do you say? I need some help up here.
For free tickets to be in the Sally Show audience, call 212-244-3595.
It's the final week of the $99 sale at David's Bridal. Select gowns are on sale for only $99. Plus every other wedding gown, thousands, all reduced $50 to $300. Call now for your appointment. 1-800-399-BRIDE.
New Maalox Max challenges Mylanta Supreme. Who neutralizes more acid? Maalox Max. Relieves pressure and bloating. Maalox Max. Comes in 3 great new flavors. Maalox Max. 3 ways the right choice is new Maalox Max. Agree or it's free.
In an instant, America's freedom is shaken, and an independent nation comes to depend on each other. Coin 6 News salutes those whose heroism and sacrifice are helping us all through this unspeakable tragedy. Times of greatest crisis bring out the best in Americans.
You okay, officer?
Thank you. Your resolve, your steadfast refusal to give in is an inspiration. Please join Coin 6 News in remembering the victims. Our memories are their legacy.
Your fireplace adds so much to your home, and Gordon's can add even more. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Selection second to none. Glass screens, fire accessories, high-efficiency natural gas fireplaces, plus home furnishings that will add to the warmth of your home. Portland's finest selection of fireplace screens, gas logs, and gas fireplaces on sale today. Everything for your fireplace. Gordon's Fireplace Shop and Home Decor. Open 7 days a week.
Hi, Pam Paulette at City Liquidators Furniture Warehouse, where you'll find a huge selection of carpets and rugs on our second floor. Not to mention our Mission collection. It's just like the fancy stores. The only difference is the price. Like this Mission computer on wall for $5.99, or this Mission Entertainment Center for $3.48. What about a Mission sofa at $5.99, or a 5-piece dining room for $7.88? And look at this great sweetheart back sofa for $4.95. City Liquidators Furniture Warehouse, family owned since 1977.
Watch Ed Whalen Sports on KOIN 6 News.
Is your relationship over and you want your ex to give you your stuff back? If so, call us at 1-800-93-SALLY and tell us your story.
We're talking to women, well, we try to work hard for a living, but these women work hard for a living. Yeah, they do a man's job dressed in man's clothes every day. Now, can they be transformed? I don't know. By the end of the hour, we're going to check out. I first want you to meet Sonia. Sonia is not just a pipe fitter. She builds power and chemical plants with huge pieces of pipe using chainsaws and heavy tools. Yeah. Let's go, Sonia.
My name is Sonia, and I'm a pipe fitter. I'm from Denham Springs, Louisiana. And I can use my tools as good as any man, if not better.
Sally, she looks rough as a corn cob. Her hairdo's from the 70s. Looks like my grandmother's hairdo. She wears clothes like my brother. Overall, can we help her, please, Sally?
Well, Sally, getting ready for work. Growing up, I was always a tomboy. I learned how to chew tobacco when I was 16 years old. What can you do to help me here? To look like a girl? See what you can do, Sally. Thanks.
I hate to ask this question, but does a pipe fitter fit pipes? What does a pipe fitter do?
We fit pipe for welders. We have to fit the pipe for the welders to weld.
Do the men think you're a